Hey, what's up, everybody? This is ePhoenix, and as you can obviously tell, this is some Battlefield 3 beta. Alright, so I've been playing this over the last few days, just kind of get a feel of it, kind of get my head around the game, and kind of just, get a wider view of it before I put up any commentaries on it. So let me first say this. Battlefield 3 has literally put $100 million into advertising. They have laid down the smack really hardcore Call of Duty, Oh, we have bigger maps and better, vehicle combat, and we have better graphics, and it's da 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 da. And that's fine, that's fine. But what that has done, and that along with the YouTube community, like pushing this game so hard for some reason, it has created in me, as I'm sure in a lot of other people, because I doubt I'm the only one that feels this way, that this game has two options. It's either gonna be a wow me, smack me in the face, amazing, bring me back to my love of video games, reawaken how much I like first-person shooters and video games in general, or it's gonna be underwhelming and I'm gonna be like, it's okay, and trade it in a month later. And that's kind of it. I mean, that's what Battlefield 3's done, and it better step up to the plate and knock out a fucking home run. Otherwise, this game is not gonna, do as well as they want, and the next game's not gonna do as well as they want, because they've laid down so much smack on Call of Duty, and they've, and a lot of what they say is true about Call of Duty and the problems with it, and I don't know. I think this is the game that they either need to like hit a home run, or it's not going to work. Even a very good game might not be good enough because of all the hype and all the talk that's out there for this game. Some would disagree with me on that, I'm sure, but I'd say a lot of people, and I'm not going to say the majority or anything, but I'd say a lot of people feel the same way as I do, that they're pretty much expecting this game to be the best first-person shooter in the last 5 years, basically. Just to be an absolute outstanding game. The best first-person, shooter since Call of Duty 4 or since Halo 2. I don't know, but that's kind of what's expected. We'll see if they deliver. Right now playing the beta. Well, let me put it this way: the beta is the beta. I understand it's the beta. You should understand it's the beta, and everything I say about the beta. Is not saying anything about the game when it finally comes out. The beta does not have vehicles, and there's limited in other things. And I'm sure they're going to patch and fix some other things. And I'm going to have a video coming out later talking about what concerns me about Battlefield 3. But this is just my overall feel on it. It reminds me the most of any game that I can think of Homefront. Some people probably won't like that comparison, but it's kind of pretty accurate as far as I can see it. The game is trying to kind of mix Call of Duty and Bad Company 2, which is exactly what Homefront was trying to mix up. It has the big maps, it has the same kind of engineer, recon class, that type stuff set up as Bad Company 2, but it also has some portions of the map which are definitely more close quarters and definitely more like obviously the metro section, the subway section within the game. Those are very Call of Duty feel to it. It has, it seems like, especially within the tight quarters, you die really quick. And so that kind of has a Call of Duty feel to it, where it's, a little more quick-paced, quick action. My only concern is going to be the same thing that was the concern with Homefront. It's kind of mixing two things that are not necessarily opposing, but are very dissimilar play styles. And I'm not sure how well it's going to work together. From the Call of Duty standpoint, it feels kind of slower. It feels kind of like it's sluggish. It's just, it feels like it's trying to do Call of Duty fast, especially inside the tunnels, but it can't quite do it because it's not 60 frames per second. But then once you get out in the open, it seems you die really quick, and you can die amazingly quick. And since the maps are so open, across the map, a guy's shooting you with the MP or UMP, and you die like bam, that, and you're like, wait, what the hell? And so that can get kind of frustrating, and especially without vehicles, it's hard to gauge, how well that if that's just a fact that it doesn't have vehicles in this map for the beta or not. I don't know. Maybe that's all it is, and that it will fix itself and it won't be a problem whatsoever. But as of right now, it feels like the maps are almost too big for the game style. And one of my problems that have always been my problems with the really big maps is, it seems you have to slow, and unless you're a very good player, which most people aren't, and I'm not at all. I'm not very good at all, to be honest. I'm probably right at average. But playing and especially rushing, because it seems like in the rush campaign you have, or not rush campaign, but the rush mode you have campers and rushers, and good luck to the rushers because you have a clear disadvantage. But that's whatever. Especially as attacker, but even as a camper, basically in the rush gameplay and the rush modes, it seems like you have to slow down your own gameplay in the bigger parts of the maps, because if you try to run around Call of Duty style, you're just going to die real quick. But it has Call of Duty quick deaths fairly often, and especially with the UMP, which seems to be a little overpowered. I'm walking, trying to look around, and if I, try to really go fast and to me have a little more fun with the game and go more forward tilt, I'm going to die like crazy because there's a lot of guys sitting behind rocks, picking me off from 100 yards away that I can see just the tip of their head shooting at me, and that can get really frustrating. And I think, the mixing of the combat kind of almost doesn't, it works, but it doesn't work as well. It doesn't work as well as Bad Company 2 in the open, and it doesn't work as well as Call of Duty in the closed or tight quarters environments. So it's the problem with the mixing of the games is it's not quite as good as either. In the closed quarters, it's not as good as Call of Duty, and in the open area, it's not as good as Bad Company 2. And so, I'm not going to say the game fails, because it doesn't. It's still a good game, it's still a fun game, but I think that's going to be the biggest problem with the game, is where's the identity of the game? Is it a fast-paced, action, non-stop shooter? Well, no, not really, but it makes attempts at that, especially in the more closed-in environments. Or is it a vehicle shooter? Well, maybe, but it's hard to tell because they didn't give you vehicles in the beta. So, that being said, I don't know. Maybe it sorts itself out and it becomes, absolutely amazing and it holds up to all the hype. Right now I'm feeling that it's probably not. I'm probably going to be a little underwhelmed by the game, that it's, at the end of the day, it's going to be a good game. Is it going to be amazing? No. I really doubt that it's going to be the game that it's hyped to be, because I don't know if it can be the game that's hyped to be, because there's so much hype and so much advertising out there by both YouTube commentators as well as DICE themselves that, it's almost like it's setting itself up to fail, because they put so much advertising and hype into it that, I don't know if it could possibly live up to its own grandiosity and its own build-up. So we'll see. I'll be interested to see. Again, this is only the beta, so this could all turn around and be completely different. And maybe I'm being unfair to the game. Maybe I should, this is a judgment of the beta alone. So let me say that this is not a judgment of the game. So I don't think I'm being unfair in judging the beta for the beta itself. I understand it's the beta, and I understand that it could very well change, and I'm doing my best to keep my mind open and my viewpoint open on the final product. And I'm not going to give you a view of Battlefield 3 until I play Battlefield 3. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like any other game that's coming out, it could be great. It could be okay. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're in love or you're a little jilted. We'll see. Anyway, guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.